Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to HBCU Game Day. I'm Tolly Carr in Atlanta. Now, you know I'm a Winston-Salem State Ram, right? Like 8,000 years ago. We have a current Ram joining us now with some really big news. Rajah Caruth, he is a professional race car driver with huge news. But first of all, to a fellow Ram, Rajah, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you've been doing well, man.
I've been doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, cool deal. All right, so the big news came out this week. You have been moving up the ranks very rapidly. A young guy. How old are you, Raja?
19.
19. Okay, so you've come up. You've been doing late models. You've been doing ARCA, and next season you're going to get a ride in the Xfinity Series, which is one step away from the top of the line Cup Series in NASCAR. For those who missed it, man, give us the info and tell us all about the big announcement.
Yeah, definitely. So next year, I'll be continuing to add more races to my schedule. I'll do the full ARCA Menard Series season, so I'll get to get my first tries at Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, Pocono, and other notable racetracks on the Cup Series schedule. In addition to make my National Series debut in the Xfinity Series at Martinsville, Richmond, and Dover, along with potentially Pocono and Kansas. So that's what we got going for next year.
Now you're a cool, calm, laid back man. This is really big. Like, these are the same tracks that people, even if you're not a super NASCAR fan, you'll recognize, current names and names from the past. I've been following and covering NASCAR for over the last 20 years, man. And you talk about these tracks that you're going to go to, man. There's been some historic things that have happened at these racetracks. Even if you don't show it on the exterior, man. Rajah, how excited are you on the inside about this opportunity?
I'm extremely excited. I mean, the thing I'm most pumped about is just getting on the racetrack. And it'll be like 4 or 5 months until then for next year. But I'm really excited for that. But I'm also excited to finish out the rest of this year and hopefully get some more wins.
Is this where you saw yourself? Like you come across as like, all right, this is no surprise. Like, this was the plan all along to be where I am today.
Um, I mean, it was the hope all along. I think it is always a little bit surprising. I think personally, just because like to just I guess see the progress that's happened so far and um everything that's happened at such a rapid rate. So it is pretty surprising. I've got to like kind of have a mental check, I would say, before I guess big things like before Monday. Like we had just raced at Milwaukee the day before, and so it kind of was a moment of like we're getting a little closer step by step. So it feels pretty good to continue to get closer.
Talking with Rajah Caruth, the Winston-Salem State Ram, a professional race car driver, getting ready to hit the Xfinity Series next weekend. I mean, next year. Don't want to get you there
Hmm.
too fast. Look, man, you've been going hard where you are now. We've been following you in the ARCA Series and with your late model runs, man. You've had some. I've seen you P1. I've seen a lot of P2s in there. You've been running at the front. No
Yeah,
matter what you've been in, what has been some of the keys to success for you meeting the challenge every time you get out there and staying closer to the front?
I think the keys to it are just having your mental right. Like my driver coach Mark Green tells me racing is 20% physical and 80% mental. So that goes into preparation in the weeks leading up to a race in terms of physically getting ready and doing practice like simulator wise, watching previous races and asking people that have raced there before and being present when your car is being prepared and understanding kind of what's going on to when you're at the racetrack and being all in and uh, whether it's at if you have practice qualifying or you just show up and race, just making sure you're all plugged in, and then obviously in the race car being locked in and making calculated and smart decisions under the intense mental and physical pressure of like being in a car.
You've been big in iRacing. I kind of watch you get in and out of that digitally week to week. How important is that? And those advances in technology that they weren't there 20 years ago to really give you that virtual. I mean, we're in a virtual world in everything we do now. How important has that experience been for you with iRacing?
I mean, iRacing is where started my career. We wouldn't be talking if I didn't get on the sim, I guess 2, 3 years ago, or 3, 4 years ago. And through the platform that service has, it allowed me to really start my career and have a go at it. So I feel a huge amount of gratitude in that aspect. And in addition, like still using it nowadays to practice for racetracks that I've never been to, like for Bristol and Kansas and Phoenix for later this year. I've never seen the places before, but I've been driving those tracks on iRacing ever since I got on there. So I'm excited to um, continue to use it as a tool, but also use it as a marketing tool, and continue to create content on there on the Twitch and YouTube platforms, and continue to build a base, build revenue, and I guess be a more familiar face on the racetrack.
Rajah, your personality seems suited to be a race car driver because you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You could be running up front for 99 out of 100 laps and crash and finish dead last. So it only matters what happens in the very end. Is this you all the time, man, or are you just this even keel, just guy throughout the whole process with everything you do?
It depends on the time of day. I think most of the time I feel like I'm pretty mellow, but when I'm with, like, I guess like my girlfriend or like some of my friends, like you'll kind of get more out of me. Like I'll kind of be a little bit not as like calm and mellow. But I would say most of the time, especially like if I'm at the race shop or like go karting or at the racetrack, for the most part, I'm pretty like mellow. But like around my friends and family and stuff, I would say I'm not as mellow as I guess I may seem most of the time. So
Hey, I can dig it, man. I'm the same way. We do things on camera, we turn it up a little bit, but outside of this, I'm a total snooze fest myself. So I can dig the vibe for real. Now, your dad, he's a different set of circumstances. A lot of our fans out there obviously follow HBCU sports. He in his past life was a sports information director here in the HBCU universe. What was his reaction to the news?
I mean, we'd been working on it for the last couple months, so it kind of was a matter. I think there was a moment where we both realized it was a matter of about when versus if. So when the things started really falling in place, it really, I think Dad and I aren't really the type of people to like celebrate and be like all hyped like that. But excuse me, we definitely had a moment to ourselves of like a realization type thing. And I think I'm very grateful to have him in my life, because not only like do I have like a lot of friends that didn't grow up with like a father figure or parents in their life, but my dad didn't either. So to have him in my life, and to have him have nurtured me and allowed me to pursue my dreams, as well as my sister as well, I'm extremely thankful for that as well.
That's really special, man. Look, I just want people to know out there, if they have not followed stock car racing or auto racing, it's really something that's, once you get into it, man, it's really an addictive thing. And it's really an emotional experience. I covered sports, and for me to really get into it, I had to find somebody that I had interest in so I could just, pour myself into it. So, early 2000s, like the rest of America, Rajah, I became a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. And man, if I wasn't at a race and I was at home watching it, I mean, especially, a restrictor plate race, lap by lap, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, man, like almost feeling like I'm in the car. And, a big crash and he goes out of contention, man. The rest of my Sunday was just all messed up because I came so emotionally invested in the sport. So look out for Rajah next season. I want you to get emotionally attached to this guy. He's a student at Winston-Salem State University. He is uber talented. He is making his way up the ranks. You want to ride and die with somebody on your TV, make sure you find out Rajah. Rajah, tell people how they can follow you on Twitter, because some of the things that maybe aren't on national TV or maybe they can't catch, they can still keep up with you on social media. You do a great job of posting everything about your racing life there.
Yeah, so my Twitter is Rajah Caruth _. But you can find the rest of my socials at my website, www.rajahcaruth.com. got our merchandise shop up on there as well. I guess more about me outside of racing, and our partners as well. So yeah.
All right. Well, man, we are super excited for you. We'll continue to cover you at hbcugameday.com, and the future is wide open in front of you, man. It's going to be a joy to see how things turn out for you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for joining us and spending a few minutes with us here this afternoon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.